This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for January 30, 2023. And in the news this evening, driver of garbage truck that killed Clancarthy schoolboy sentenced to 1 year and 7 months. Alton Brooks, the driver of the garbage truck that crushed and killed 7-year-old Benjamin Bear on the grounds of the Clancarthy Primary School in October 2019, has been sentenced to 1 year and 7 months imprisonment for manslaughter. Justice Leighton Pusey handed down the sentence in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Monday afternoon. The judge had considered sentencing Brooks to 2 years, but factored the 5 months Brooks already spent in custody. The judge 2 weeks ago rejected the non-custodial sentence recommendation in the plea arrangement struck between the defense and the prosecutors. The elderly Brooks pleaded guilty to manslaughter in November last year. Brooks was arrested and charged in 2019 after the 7-year-old boy was crushed to death on October 28 of that year on the school grounds. Reports are that about 4:30 p.m., Benjamin was at the school when the garbage truck that had been picking up trash hit a taxi and then overturned on the boy. It was reported that at the time of the incident, the truck was left unmanned and that it slid down a slope. The driver initially fled the scene before turning himself into the police 3 days later. Cocaine seized at the Sangster airport, employee arrested. The police are reporting the seizure of a quantity of cocaine at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James, and the arrest of an employee. They say the recovery was made during an operation on Sunday morning. Reports are that about 11:50 a.m., members of the Narcotics Division and the Customs Contraband Enforcement Team were conducting operations at the airport. According to the police, the employee was seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. He was subsequently accosted and searched. According to the police, 4 parcels containing cocaine, which weighed 2.5 kilograms, were found in his possession. The man was arrested. Cornwall College student receiving care after jumping from building. Principal of Cornwall College in Montego Bay, St. James, Michael Ellis, says medical attention is being provided to the student who fractured his leg after he jumped from a building this morning to retrieve money. Ellis told the news that he was informed by the schoolboy that cash fell from his hand while he was on the first floor of the Industrial Arts building. According to Ellis, in a bid to recover the money, before anyone else could, he climbed over the railing and jumped to the ground. He sustained an injury to one of his legs. The student reportedly indicated that he felt that jumping to the ground floor was a safer route to retrieving his money than taking the stairs. The student is now being treated at hospital and he is in the company of his father. And although he suffered a fractured leg, it is not considered to be life-threatening, said Ellis. Noting that the incident could have ended differently, the principal encouraged the students to use safe means when they encounter situations while at school. JLP says it fully supports Clark in SSL crisis. The ruling Jamaica Labour Party is accusing the opposition People's National Party of attempting to politicize the current crisis affecting investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited. SSL is currently under a multi-agency investigation over an alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud. The JLP is accusing the PNP and its supporters of attempting to compromise the investigations. JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang, in a media statement this morning, said the party stands firmly with Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark in managing this crisis. Clark days ago acknowledged that his office received a report from the Financial Services Commission on SSL in April 2020, but he said it was never brought to his attention. During a policy address last Monday, Clark insisted that, as Minister of Finance and the Public Service, neither the FSC Board of Commissioners nor the FSC Executive Director nor any person from the FSC has ever raised the stocks and the securities with me in any way. The FSC regulates investment houses. Clark also said Audley Shaw, his predecessor, has indicated that he was not aware of any reports on SSL. But it was later confirmed that almost 3 years ago, the FSC did send a document to Clark highlighting some of the SSL's financial troubles. The PNP has blasted Clark and has called for him to be fully transparent with the public, but the JLP has pushed back. What has become clear is that this fraudulent activity has been taking place for over 13 years, spanning several administrations. It is disappointing but not surprising that the PNP is seeking relevance from this treacherous alleged theft. Their actions are short-sighted and dangerous, he charged. Chang added the PNP should know that the Financial Services Commission is operationally independent and the law provides no role for the minister in supervisory matters. We commend Minister Clark for the very decisive, open and transparent approach he is taking to the management of this. According to Chang, the government has shown that it will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that responsible people are held to account. We support Minister Clark's announcement last week that he has written requesting international forensic experts that Jamaica is willing to pay for, and that previous to this announcement, assistance from the FBI has also been sought. He continued, instead of being an impediment, the PNP would do well, in the interest of Jamaica, to partner with the government to fix clearly systematic gaps in the financial sector that span administrations. The government is doing what is right by creating institutional safeguards to prevent the current crisis from recurring. Chang asserted that the current posture and actions of the PNP risk undermining confidence in Jamaica's financial sector, both locally and internationally. This is not a time for political one-upmanship or point scoring. They must recognize that their actions and that of their surrogates do nothing to move Jamaica forward. Opposition says a further delay of local government elections could set back democracy. Opposition spokesperson on local government Natalie Nita Garvey is expressing concern that another postponement of the local government elections could be a major setback to democracy. The elections are due by February 27. However, General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, Dr. Horace Chang, has conceded that the local government elections are not likely to be held by that time. Director of Elections Glasspool Brown also told the news that the government has not approved the budgetary allocation needed to execute the election. In a release to the media on Monday, Nita Garvey said the latest indication of postponement will compromise the effectiveness of local government authorities. It shatters the hope of reforms promised in the new Local Governance Act of 2016 and defects the objective of removing local government as a political football of central government, she said. The opposition spokesperson argued that several divisions are without a proper representation due to the death of the last elected councillor, migration, neglect, or the election of the sitting councillor to the House of Representatives. She said over 12 divisions are now without representation, and the people within those boundaries are not receiving adequate services as provided for by the Representation of the People Act. The government has had enough time since the last postponement to plan for holding these elections to fulfill the requirement of the Local Governance Act of 2016. Instead, the government is simply abusing the power of the parliamentary majority to do what it wants with our democratic system of government, Nita Garvey said. The country last had local government elections in November 2016. Constitutionally due every 4 years, the next polls were postponed in November 2020 for 3 months as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. In February 2021, the Parliament extended the delay by a further 12 months, making them due by February 27, 2023. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.